Welcome to Terraria. Let's have a look at some of the settings we've got and look the main menu looks like. We've got single player, which is where you mostly go in if you're going to go and play a single player game, and then we've got some multiplayer option, and then we've got our achievements which show up in here as you play the game, and then workshop, which takes you to an area where you might want a mod. You can go get resource packs and different things that you might want to download from the Steam Workshop, and you would put them in the game here. And you can also import worlds from the workshop, and you can publish worlds that you create or you use, and then publish also resource packs. We've got our main settings, and there's quite a few here. We've got general settings for whether we want autosave on, map, which is basically a mini map that shows up over here in the top right corner. We've got our interface options, and there's quite a few here to choose from. Just different things that will you can change different effects, and you can actually see them change in the game, and I may show some of that once we get into the game. And if we have a look at the settings menu once we're inside the game, we can see some of those options that we were looking at earlier on the main menu. And you can see here's the mini-map border, and if you click on it, you can see over here in the right corner your mini-map changes depending on what type of effect you have selected. You can actually change the scaling size of it here, and you can see that. And your health and your mana style, you can actually change the way that that appears as well. So you've got a few options, and this is for boss health. We've got some video options. We can change our resolution, so some of these things change and you can see them when you're actually inside the game. So like our lighting, for example, you can see, you take a look back here. Let's take a look at this fire. So you can see the pixels changing depending on which one I've just picked here. Quality, it's kind of a subtle change, but I noticed the flames are slower or faster depending on whatever you pick. Background on or off, you can see how that changes. Some of these other things are pretty self-explanatory. Environment options, and then we've got our volume controls, music, your sound, and our ambient or background sounds. And we can change the cursor. You can actually change the color. And actually, if you were to download a mod, you can also change cursors and then change them in here under the cursor. And you got borders. I currently have my border off. You can see what it looks like with a border. You can see it there. It's a little bit thicker. And then there's some options here that affect the in-game play. Controls. And there's key bindings. You can see there's a few here. And if you were to use a controller that's got its own setup. Of course, this game is on mobile and on other console devices, but as far as I'm concerned, it plays best on a PC. Of course, I'm biased. I think games are best on a PC. Let's go ahead and look at language. Got our options here for languages, and then we'll go back to the menu. Here's our credits. And the version number shows up down here in the left corner. And then we've got some external links. And next I'll take a look at what the in-game UI looks like and some of the features. When you start a game, and if you go into the single player, your characters will show up here, and you can actually start a new character, or you can pick a character that you've already created. And if you were to start with a new character, It goes through a few things that you can change. You can change hairstyles, eye color, shape of your or color of your skin, male or female. You can randomize your player, and so there's all kinds of different things. Color of your clothing. So if you go ahead and create this character, and then you can name your character. And it would show up, it shows up in here. And then when you click on play, you can create your world. And also your worlds that you've created in the past show up here. And depending on whether you create a classic world or a journey world, which is sort of like creative mode in Minecraft. And classic is just your vanilla settings. Then we got some harder difficulties, and it kind of shows you, tells you down here what's going on with that. And then you get whether you get a corruption layer or a crimson layer that show up in your game, or you can randomize. And you can start with a small map, medium, or large. It's recommended for new players to go on a medium size map. You can name it. You can change your seed. When you're happy with what you've got, your settings here to start with, you would go to create. Once your world is created, you can select your new world that you've created, and you actually can favorite it. You can move it to the cloud. You can copy the seed. You can rename it. And now you're in your world. And here's the mini map that I was speaking of. And if you click on it, press M, you can actually see the map and zoom in on it, and it shows you kind of where area that you've discovered so far. And so this is inside the game of Terraria, and up here in your left corner, top left corner, is your hotbar for your tools and different things. And if you hit escape, you'll get your inventory. Inventory shows up here, and then your life for your health over here on the right top corner, and then the mana, which is a feature in the game for special power. Let's go ahead and take care of this slime. Yeah, let's do that. Find these swinging tools to be better. And then this is your first NPC, which is kind of a helpful NPC. If you've got questions, and if you have questions on different things, like we've got a mushroom here, and we don't want to know what recipes we can do, you can place them down here, and then it shows you. It tells you a little bit about it. You need a cooking pot, you can cook it, and then things you can do. You can make a bowl of soup if you do a mushroom and a goldfish. Over here on the right side, we've got our housing and equipment that you can equip to yourself. You've got 3 slots here that you can use. If you've got favorite options, I'll go ahead and show some of that in another game that I have. So here's another game that I have going on. And like I was saying, we've got over here our slots for different things that you can equipment, and then your perks, some perks that show up as you play the game, and then your NPCs also show up down here. And then you can also do crafting. Crafting menu shows up here. Depending on what type of workstation that you have placed down, you can get different things that you can make, and it shows up across here. And also you can scroll over here on the left side and see the different things that you can craft depending on resources that you collected in the world. One little thing I do like about this game is it's not just a side scroller platformer, a typical game that's been already created for you. You can actually, you probably have known this, but you can dig, and that's the thing, you can actually change your world. And I think that's probably one of the most attractive features of this game is the fact that you can change your world and do things to it. So that's a brief overview of Terraria, however you pronounce that. Thanks for watching.